Hello and welcome to Riverside Tech. Today I've got a review of the Speedlink Drift OZ wheel. This is a wheel for either PC or PS3 depending on which one you buy, and it's pretty useful in quite a few racing games. First we're going to look at the build and use of this. As you may be able to see, it's kind of got a plasticky build, which for something of this price is fine, and quite a few racing wheels are made out of plastic, even the more premium ones. They tend to get very expensive before they get made more out of metal. So the pedals on this steering wheel connect to the wheel by USB, and then the wheel connects to the computer via another USB, and I find that works perfectly fine. The colour scheme is kind of an orange, black and grey. It looks a bit kind of tacky, especially when it's made out of plastic, so I don't particularly like that, but when you're paying less for a steering wheel, if it's made out of plastic and looks a bit tacky, you can kind of forgive that as long as it works fine. The handles and the grip are fairly nice and work well, and the flappy paddles work perfectly fine and have a nice kind of clicking noise. I do have some criticisms of the build though, and that's the pedals I found were really squeaky, and that was quite annoying, even with headphones on. The steering wheel only turns 90 degrees to the right and 90 degrees to the left, which is a bit irritating, but then that's all you kind of ever need to do, but it kind of subtracts from the real steering wheel experience that you might get if you spent £300 on a steering wheel. And as this is only £40, you can kind of deal with it. And I think this steering wheel is great for casual games. Although I couldn't get it to work on the crew and it made it crash every time, so I'm not sure about that. But other racing games worked perfectly fine, and if you don't need it for highly realistic sims, it's perfectly good. It was easy to set up. I could just get the drivers off the internet and it worked perfectly fine. I found that the pedals gripped the carpet really well and didn't slip around a lot, which I've had trouble with other steering wheels. And the steering wheel had a big suction cup that stuck onto the table, and I found it really hard to remove even when I was trying to move the steering wheel. It seems fairly secure, and it's good because it allows you to position it somewhere else if you need to. I also found, and I like the way the controller replicates the buttons for an Xbox controller, so when you're navigating in a menu or something, when you're playing a game, you can do full navigation without having to use the keyboard or your controller, which was nice. So overall, despite it being low cost and suffering in build quality because of that, it works perfectly fine in most games. It provides satisfying feedback, and if you're not looking to spend 250 quid on some Logitech really nice steering wheel, this is a really good option for a budget steering wheel. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to Riverside.